Hey guys, I hope you're setting yourself up for another successful week with ChristyLangle.com. This week I want to chat with you about intermittent fasting. So there are tons of news articles, tons of information on Google about all different types of diet fads, and one of them that is big hit right now is intermittent fasting. So you guys know me, I generally just follow a lifestyle type plan. I follow macros, I eat healthy foods, I cheat when I'd like to, but I like to try things firsthand before I give you information. So this whole past week, I did intermittent fasting Monday through Saturday to test it out, figure out what my pros and cons are about intermittent fasting so I could give that information to you, because it could be something that might work for you. It might not be good for you at all. All right, so some background about intermittent fasting. Harvard Medical School is doing a ton of research on lab rats and some small groups of testing with this intermittent fasting approach. They are finding it is a good weight loss approach. It can be, so to say, not for everybody again, but it can be a good weight loss approach. It is great for diabetes prevention. So if you are someone struggling to bring down your diabetes numbers, or you're borderline pre-diabetic and you really want to avoid starting medication, intermittent fasting might be something good for you to try. They are finding though that it really is no better or more effective than an overall healthy lifestyle. So let's break down the science. So when you eat something, carbohydrates are going to break down in your body as sugar. Okay, so when you break down into sugar, then that is going to bring your insulin levels up. Okay, when your insulin levels are up, you're storing fat, you're bringing those sugar stores into a storage form, and you're holding on to them as fat. So the idea of fasting for a longer period of time is giving your body the chance to let your insulin levels come down, let your sugar levels come down for a longer period of time so that you end up burning fat. This can also help you become more insulin sensitive. So if you are struggling, like I said, pre-diabetic, and your body's not really responding or producing enough insulin anymore, this could be beneficial to help your diabetic numbers. All right, so what I did this week, Monday through Saturday, I wasn't able to do it precisely the way the science would like you to. The idea is that you pick an 8-hour window, preferably earlier in the day, that are going to be your eating hours. And then your 16 hours are going to be your fasting hours. So for me, because of my work schedule, I have early clients, I have late clients and classes. I had my window from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., which is a little later than the science would recommend. But that was what I needed to do in order to be able to survive training clients all day. So I fasted after 8 o'clock all the way as I slept through the morning, and I didn't eat anything other than water, black coffee, or tea, herbal teas, before 12 o'clock noon. And then I started to eat again. So for me, pros and cons. I have things that I like about it, things that I don't like about it. So my pros for the experiment this week for intermittent fasting, I did like that you're able to bulk your calories into larger meals, so to say. So when you are eating during the 8-hour window period, you still want to follow a lifestyle plan, follow macros if you can, eating healthy. You can't just binge eat pizza in the 8-hour window and then fast for 16 hours and expect to see improvements. Okay, so I did find that it was a little bit easier for me to figure out what I was going to eat in the 8-hour period, because I wasn't necessarily eating smaller meals throughout the day. So I really had maybe breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and one tiny snack in there, which was usually like a protein shake. So I was able to bulk my calories into larger meals because it was a shorter period of time than I'm used to eating. So that made it a little bit easier for meal prep and calculating and figuring out what I'm going to eat on a day-to-day basis. The other pro for me, now I don't know if this is necessarily because of my fasting period or because I was great with my macros this week, but the scale did go down for me 1.4 pounds, which healthy fat loss is anywhere between 0.5, so a half, to 2 pounds per week of fat loss. Okay, so 1.4 for me, I'd consider that an excellent loss for this week. The cons for me, so I have a very fluctuating schedule. So I didn't necessarily like that I couldn't eat between 6 a.m. and noon because I sometimes am training multiple clients during that time period, and being unable to eat during this time period, feeling a little weak, not really all mentally there. I did find myself having some caffeine to kind of curb my stomach. So like I was drinking more coffee to help the hunger that I had going on. I personally hate the feeling of being hungry. I'd rather just eat something like an apple if I'm feeling something. So I didn't like the fact that I had to be working long hours doing physical activity and I wasn't able to eat, because there's sometimes I have clients at 6 a.m. Sometimes I have clients at 7 p.m. on the same day. So it's more beneficial for me, and I feel like I can do my job better when I have food in me throughout all those times. The other con to it is that life happens. So there was one night I ended up talking to somebody at the gym after I was training a client, and I hadn't seen them in forever, and we ended up talking for an extra half an hour, and I didn't get home until 7:45. So getting home 7:45, even if I had everything ready and all I needed to microwave was my meatloaf or something like that, I didn't get to sit down and eat my dinner until a little bit after 8 o'clock. So my fasting period didn't start when it was supposed to happen, okay? So in that sense, I don't really like intermittent fasting because life's gonna come at you all the time, and you should be able to know how to eat and what to eat and when to eat and all that kind of things, all right? So all in all, intermittent fasting is nothing crazy. All it really is eating 8-hour windows, which ideally it should be earlier in the day. Science shows the best results are if you eat from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then you stop eating after that. But the majority of us like to come home and sit down and have dinner with your family. So if any of these things, pre-diabetes or high blood pressure or maybe scheduling issues, this might be beneficial for you, totally give it a shot, okay? But if not, you guys know me, I stick to old school. This is a lifestyle, we're living in balance. We need to figure out how to eat for the long term, because ideally you're not gonna only eat for 8 hours out of every day for the rest of your life. So let's try to make this a lifestyle change. All right, guys, I hope you have an awesome week. Let's kick some butt with these workouts. We've got a new booty boost video up on the training page, so make sure you check that out, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.